The drama at Ferrari seems far from over, even though Carlos Sainz is no longer part of the Prancing Horse team. The Spanish racer admitted to being hurt after hearing Charles Leclerc's shocking confession regarding Lewis Hamilton's move to Ferrari. Leclerc's statement seemed to reveal something that was not known to the public, leaving a big question mark over how this situation developed behind the scenes. Is there something that has not been revealed about Ferrari's decision to replace Sainz? Let's check it out. Carlos Sainz experienced one of the biggest surprises of his racing career when he learned that his current team, Ferrari, had made a major decision to sign Lewis Hamilton for the 2025 season. The decision meant that Sainz had to be prepared to lose his seat at the team with the Prancing Horse logo. In fact, the Spaniard had previously hoped to stay with Ferrari for the long term and had been targeting a contract extension. However, those hopes were dashed when Ferrari management decided that Hamilton was a better choice for their future. Ferrari's decision to recruit Hamilton to replace Sainz surprised not only him personally, but also many in the racing world, especially F1 fans and analysts. This is all the more surprising considering that Sainz has been a very solid performer with Ferrari over the last few seasons. In fact, 2023 can be considered one of the best seasons of his career, where he managed to become the only driver outside the Red Bull team to win a race. This victory should be concrete proof that Sainz is a driver who has the capacity and quality to continue competing at the highest level and is worthy of being retained by Ferrari. On the other hand, the attraction of recruiting a driver of Lewis Hamilton's caliber is indeed great. Hamilton is not a figure to be underestimated in the world of Formula One. With 7 world championship titles to his name and his status as one of the best drivers in the history of the sport, Ferrari seems to see a very rare opportunity to bring a living legend into their team. This decision shows that Ferrari wants to increase their chances of returning to F1 glory with the experience, speed, and leadership that Hamilton can bring to the team. While bittersweet for Sainz, Ferrari's decision is part of the ever-changing and evolving competitive dynamics of Formula One. Sainz will now have to look elsewhere for his future, and it will be interesting to see where his career takes him after leaving Ferrari. In an interview with the Beyond the Grid podcast, Carlos Sainz openly revealed that he fully understands the reasons behind Ferrari's decision regarding his future with the team. "I understand 100%. I think I understood the situation very clearly from the beginning. If it was someone else, maybe with less experience and less success, I think it would have taken me a little longer to accept the decision. But in this case, the driver who is going to replace me is Lewis Hamilton, a living legend in racing who has won 7 world titles. With that in mind, I can understand Ferrari's decision. From a team perspective, it was a great opportunity that was hard to pass up, and I can understand why they felt they couldn't turn it down," said Sainz. While he can rationally understand the decision, that doesn't mean he doesn't feel a deep sense of disappointment. Sainz feels that during his time at Ferrari he has given everything to the team, worked hard and shown that he is a competitive driver. He has proven his ability on the track and shown that he can compete with the best drivers. In the end, however, even though his performance did not diminish, he had to retire due to circumstances beyond his control. This is certainly not an easy situation to accept, but he is trying to remain professional and face this decision. Carlos Sainz is fully aware that if there is one driver in the Ferrari team who must be sacrificed in certain situations, it is him and not Charles Leclerc. This is not without reason, considering that Ferrari has placed great trust in Leclerc from the beginning, building a long-term project with him. Leclerc is not just an ordinary driver for Ferrari. He is part of their young driver academy and has long been the main face of the team. "I always knew it would never be Charles. Ever since he was a junior driver, Ferrari have made him their main project. He has been at the center of the team's long-term plans for many years. Meanwhile, I came to Ferrari more as a replacement for Sebastian Vettel. My presence here is almost a coincidence, a result of the circumstances that developed at the time," said Sainz with full awareness. Ferrari's loyalty to Leclerc is so deep-rooted that when Lewis Hamilton expressed an interest in joining the team, Sainz understood that he had to step aside and make way for the change. The decision came as no surprise to him, as he understood that Ferrari saw Leclerc as their main asset for the future. Sainz went through a difficult time when he learned that he would be losing his seat at Ferrari. He was devastated and admitted it was one of the most emotional moments of his career. "I remember being very emotional after winning the Australian Grand Prix. My dad was there, my girlfriend, my manager, all the people who supported me. They all know how difficult it was for me to have a winter after the announcement." The win in Australia was a turning point for Sainz. After undergoing an appendectomy that ruled him out of Saudi Arabia, He bounced back to win the race and prove he was still capable of competing at the highest level. Life is a roller coaster. A few weeks ago I was really down, but winning in Australia showed that I can still fight and achieve great results. It was a very emotional moment for me. Despite trying to remain professional about the situation, Carlos Sainz did not deny that he felt a range of emotions, including anger and disappointment, when he first heard of Ferrari's decision. I could say I wasn't angry, but that wouldn't be the truth. When I first heard the news, I was angry and disappointed. I really didn't understand the reasoning behind the decision, and at the time it all felt very unfair to me, he said honestly. But as time went on, those feelings began to subside. He realized that there was no point in continuing to wallow in negative emotions. As the days went by, he began to accept this reality more openly and calmly. Time has its own way of healing wounds. After going through various thoughts and reflections, I began to accept this reality and decided to focus on what I could do well, he added. Although he felt angry and disappointed, Sainz was able to make peace with the situation. He remains committed to doing his best for Ferrari in the 2024 season. He stressed that as long as his contract is valid, he will continue to give his full commitment to the team and work as hard as possible to achieve the best results in every race. After losing his seat at Ferrari, Carlos Sainz began a new chapter in his career by joining the Williams team. This legendary team has faced various challenges and difficulties in recent years, but with Sainz's enthusiastic presence, they are optimistic that they can return to winning ways and achieve the success they have long dreamed of. Sainz's presence is seen as a new hope that will bring Williams back to competing at the highest level of Formula One. Although Sainz has now joined Williams, Ferrari boss Fred Vasseur said that the possibility of Sainz returning to Ferrari remains open, although there is no certainty as to when it might happen. Sainz also stated that he has not ruled out the possibility, although he is aware that it will not happen in the near future. Sainz said, "I don't see it in the near future, but life is full of surprises. I'm still 30 years old and many drivers live to be 42. So who knows in the next 10 years? This shows Sainz's open and realistic attitude to the future of his career. For now, however, Sainz's main focus is on helping Williams recover and regain its rightful place on the Formula One competitive scene. He has big ambitions to bring the once glorious team back to the front row and compete with the best teams. Ferrari, while still an important part of his career journey, is not the main priority in his mind at the moment. Sainz hopes to make a significant contribution to moving Williams in a better direction and realizing the team's ambition to compete at the highest level of Formula One again. Carlos Sainz experienced one of the most difficult moments of his career when Ferrari decided to replace him with Lewis Hamilton. Although he understood the logic behind the decision, there is no denying that it left an emotional wound. However, Sainz showed strong character by rising from the slump and continuing to fight on the track. Now he embarks on a new adventure with Williams, hoping to bring the team back to the top. Although his future with Ferrari is over for now, who knows? Maybe one day fate will bring him back to the team he once gave his all to. Write your thoughts in the comments section.